Welcome to the bold analysis. The gods took everyone to Mount Kenya to stand and appear before 23,000 people that converged in Embu for the bishop's consecration event, so that William Ruto would get the reality. And I want to say, for the record here, I want to ask you guys, get me one soundbite of a cabinet secretary from Mount Kenya defending William Ruto regime. In this cabinet, they're really close to 7 people from Central Kenya. We have Alice Wahome. We have quite a number. We have that Kindiki, who's in cabinet. We have Margaret in the ICT. We have the tourism CS, Rebecca Miano, and you can name them. What should worry the president most is that those people from his cabinet that are defending him, even MPs that are defending him, apart from Kimani Ichung'wah, who has also gone quiet, it is only his members of Kalenjin community that are defending him. And in fact, by the time we get to 2027, Raila will leave before 2027. Raila is there. Raila's relationship with William Ruto is transactional. When the transaction will be over, Raila will go back to ODM and will start strategizing on how he can vie for presidency in 2027. William Ruto will remain with the Kalenjin community. After what happened in Central Kenya, I want you to listen to what Kipchumba Murkomen is saying, and he's speaking in the Kalenjin land.
Na mimi nataka kuambia rais wetu na wizara yetu, msidanganywe. Let me say this nikiwa nyumbani, na niseme wa Kenya wote wakisikia, msidanganywe na wale wanahubiri dini ya uongo kwamba kazi haiendelei. There is enough that is going on in various ministries yenye sisi tunaongoza hapa kama mawaziri. Ile tu bahati mbaya tulihineri uchumi yenye ilikuwa mbaya vile tunajua sisi wote. Na kwa miaka 2 tumepunguza bei ya unga. Kwa miaka 2 bei ya mafuta. Kwa hii miaka 2 tumehakikisha kwamba dola iko chini. Kwa hii miaka 2 tumehakikisha kwamba juzi tulikuwa kwa cabinet tukisomewa kwamba for the first time in the Republic of Kenya we are not importing sugar. Kwa sababu ya ile reforms rais alileta, sugar sasa yenye inatengenezwa kwa Kenya ndio tunakula kwa Kenya yetu. Na kuna reforms zinaendelea tunataka kwa agriculture, kuhakikisha kwamba mambo ya rice tunapanda wenyewe na tunakula chakula yetu. Saa hizi mahindi yenye tuna import imekuja karibu 0 kwa sababu ya ile reforms ya fertilizer. There are a lot of good things that are going on in our country. Mimi nataka kusema namna hii. I know that there are challenges we have as a nation. But I want to request our religious leaders, and I want to request all the people of Kenya, it is not always good to look at a glass that has a half a glass of water and you say it's a half empty. It is also important to recognize that that glass is a half full. It is always good to look at the positives, because if you feed your people with negativity all the time, with negative mind, negative hearts, kwa mambo yenye inaumiza roho, hata ukienda nyumbani yako na kila wakati mtoto yako akikuja na results unamwambia mtoto wewe utaanguka, utapotea.
So Kipchumba Murkomen is saying, Mr. President, these people should not lie to you. Things are happening. But we've not declined. No one is saying that things are not happening. Things are happening. But what is working for the people is the answer. At this moment, in this podcast, I wanted to look at, I wanted to explain the fact that Rigathi Gachagua is gone with Mount Kenya. He's gone with it. And the next time the president wants to have a successful political rally in Mount Kenya, he should at least have either Uhuru Kenyatta or Rigathi Gachagua. But because Uhuru Kenyatta is not very willing to be dragged in the politics, he should rather go to look for Rigathi Gachagua. If William Ruto will successfully try to plant a venom against Rigathi Gachagua, in fact, in simple terms, if Ruto doesn't reconcile with Rigathi, then 2027 is more complex than what he really thinks. And I associate myself with what Ahmed Nasir have just tweeted. This is what Ahmed Nasir is saying. In his calculations for 2027, today is the day President Ruto should start pivoting to Nyanza and Western, and should stop the false delusional narrative that he is fed by his sidekicks from Central, that either Central is with him, like let us say for 5%, the same false narrative they used to tell to Raila 24/7, and B, that Gachagua was his problem in Central Kenya, and with him gone, Central is back. I hate when politicians refuse to smell the coffee, but today is the right time for President Ruto to know that Central Kenya imeenda kabisa, and for good. Or do we organize a by-election in Kiambu to drive the point home so that the Gachagua can show UDA dust? And I agree. In fact, if the president does not still believe that Central imeenda, then he should organize, he should make sure that IBC is constituted, and IBC to call a date for a by-election. In fact, a by-election should be anywhere. Anywhere. So long as a candidate will try to use that UDA ticket, that candidate will be home. That candidate will lose terribly. And so I want to tell you something. If you ask me, Central Kenya imeenda na Rigathi. Imeenda na Rigathi. Not even Uhuru Kenyatta. And now, Rigathi is not going to vie if things stand as they are now. Unless tables stand. Ruto should even pray that Rigathi is in the ballot. He should even pray that Rigathi is in the ballot. Otherwise, things are not really looking good. Today, successfully the state managed to suppress Rigathi Gachagua's name out of the protocol, and he was snubbed in the whole event. But clearly, the video of, I want to show you a video here of Rigathi Gachagua being escorted exit while leaving the venue. And you will agree with me that Central Kenya is surely gone. The reports that allegedly he was not invited and he did get crushed to the event. However, it is a church function. It is a public function. I believe that everyone was invited. Not all those people that were there that were invited. It was a church function. So probably the discussion about not being invited to me doesn't hold. He arrived early, and there is this photo of Rigathi arriving there, walking in a very muddy place. I was not in Embu, but I believe if Rigathi wanted to avoid that mud, he could still avoid it. That was not the only path to that place. I want to believe that even where William Ruto and Uhuru Kenyatta, the path they used, probably not that the whole place was muddy. If they wanted to make sure that Rigathi that is passed through that mud, wangemtafutia to alternative route. But he had to pass through that mud, and that photo had to be taken as it is. Yes, you know, this is what politics is. And Rigathi is a graduate of William Ruto. William Ruto did these optics, these theatrics, and it did end there. Even when he went to the red carpet, he was seated there with mud-stained trouser and the shoes. Clearly, the message he was sending home, the message he was sending is that I have gotten used to the villager's life. I am a villager. Now that position of I am a villager, of sliding back with the people, should really worry the president. And it is very clear that even, of course, it was fine for them to separate the tents. Yeah. Maybe William Ruto did not want to share a podium with the deputy president, but I wish the person that can salvage Ruto from Mount Kenya is just Rigathi. Because ile pivoting to the western is not very dependable. But I'm seeing something. I will once, and I will analyze it tomorrow. I'm seeing something about western that clearly is in the picture. So he was seated, accompanied by Gathoni Mushomba, Meru Maua, Garungwa Thangwa, and a couple of other leaders, including the Kirinyaga women rep. When Rigathi was leaving the venue, there are two videos I want us to see. Well, number one is the trending video of how he was received when the bishop called his name. But of course, watch another 3-minute video when he was leaving. When he was leaving that venue, I wanted to look at how Rigathi was actually received by the people that were attending that event.
I'd also like at this moment also to recognize our former Deputy President, who is also here. Thank you. I would at this time kindly
So this was Rigathi leaving. So at this time, remember Uhuru Kenyatta said that immediately William Ruto's speech is done, he's going to leave because he hataki hiyo kelele inamuaffect. But William Ruto left. And when he left, I wanted to look at this video. This was William Ruto in level 5 hospital, Embu level 5 hospital that is currently underway. And it's not very far from where that venue was. No one followed William Ruto. William Ruto did not address any rally. He's fond of coming out of the car. He snaked his convoy out of the venue and went straight to that level 5 hospital and did not find even one Kenyan, one citizen waiting for him, maybe to listen to him. And that is why I'm telling you, like, if you check this video, what will you, let me, can you just go back and look at the videos in the past when President Ruto goes to Mount Kenya, probably Embu. What you'd expect is, hiyo uwanja ya shule ingekuwa imejaa. Hiyo uwanja ya that level 5 hospital, around that place, it will be full. No one followed the president's convoy. The president did not come out of his car. Remember, it is university already, kuna ground. Already there are university students around that place. He did not come out. And that tells you how he had to sneak and leave, rush out of the venue. And in fact, the act of going to level 5 hospital, it was just part of damage control. Kwa sababu when he was speaking in that rally, when he was speaking in that event, he mentioned about the issues of SHA, and the crowd erupted in heckling. Ukimwambia uongo. And from that moment, when he left, he was just saying he was going there as part of just damage control. He went, but he didn't go with the people. And I also know that the decision of saying there that I was going to be to that level 5, he was expecting that, of course, people are following that event, or probably some people from there would follow his convoy. William Ruto was left, and Rigathi Gachagua got his reception. There is something you need to see. Rigathi is going close to the people. And as the population now just wants someone who can listen to them, it will not be easy to isolate Rigathi Gachagua. Of course, I know that the reason why the Catholic bishops accepted, and of course, Rigathi was subdued in that event, they did not want the political intrigues that is going on to take center stage. I can tell you they knew, and William Ruto knows very well in that event, if you give Rigathi Gachagua a microphone in that event, Rigathi can speak, and immediately he leaves, he will leave with half of that crowd. Na tena ikiwa Uhuru ashaongea, then almost 3/4 of that crowd will leave with Rigathi. So they were so cautious that don't give Rigathi the microphone. If you give Rigathi the microphone there, he speaks, and probably if the crowd doesn't leave, then the president and his deputy who are supposed to talk later would find it difficult. I've seen the heckling, and I'm seeing Naomi Bianca is saying that Naomi and some State House bloggers, they're saying that Rigathi ferried the crowd. How? You know, I'm like, even if you want to pamper the president, I wish you just be truthful to him. How is this issue of ferrying the crowd? Now, the event is in Embu. The governor of Embu is President Ruto's friend, and Ruto has almost control of everything. But magari zililetwa gari za the Catholic faithfuls. Rigathi is resonating with Mount Kenya. And instead of the question that Ruto should ask himself is this, and I keep on saying, he who advised President Ruto that where Rigathi Mount Kenya will fix, if that person is Ichungwa, Ruto needs to slap Ichungwa and tell Ichungwa, don't come near me, because it was a miscalculation, a big miscalculation. So Rigathi is resonating with the mountain. And that resonating, it is not that Rigathi is good. I've been saying, not that Rigathi is such a good person. Seti amefanya kitu mzuri. No. But is successfully capitalizing on William Ruto's faults. Why is he resonating? The sympathy theatrics are working. But we need to caution the voters. Never again should you vote on sympathy. You can listen to. It can tilt the scales, but never again shall we vote on sympathy. I want to believe by the time the country is making a choice on who to take over. You must bring a plan. Even Kalonzo should not think he will be voted because people hate Ruto. No. Kalonzo must bring us. What does he want to solve these things that Ruto is not doing right? That is where the country should be. But someone should not sit pretty comfortable waiting, because Ruto is failing, will be elected. No, forget about it. I think that those sympathy cards are working for him. Now, Ruto's Kindiki Uda camp are not talking about Mount Kenya issues. Immediately, Rigathi was relieved. What Rigathi was being accused of, that tribal card, it had its own demerits, while in the national eye, it was disadvantaging him, but locally he was resonating with the people. Now, Kindiki and the other leaders, having ran the campaign on nationalism and non-tribal politics, they are so afraid of talking to the issues of Mount Kenya. They're so afraid of it, because they'll be told of doing what they accused Rigathi of doing. I saw William Ruto meeting MPs from Kakamega. I saw William Ruto meeting MPs from Nairobi. And he's been meeting regional caucuses. He's been meeting them. So, but the camp from Mount Kenya are a bit afraid. They're not talking to the issues that are affecting the people. Mount Kenya is agricultural county, agricultural region. They are not. Even that agriculture CS, I'm yet to see him defending government in the ground, apart from the TV stations. The other issue where Rigathi is resonating is Ruto is seen as an oppressive leader. And Rigathi was coming out as the combative person who would dare Ruto. So the appointment of Kindiki is seen as a yes sir person. And you will see memes running that Kindiki anafanya kitu Ruto amefanya. If Ruto is seated this way, Kindiki is putting his hand this way. If Ruto is dancing, Kindiki is dancing. If the way, everything that Ruto does, Kindiki is doing. So that is also something that I think is working against the Ruto administration. And lastly, UDA MPs have a serious disconnect with the people. Passing finance bill, disconnect. Impeaching the deputy president Rigathi Gachagua against the people's will, that is not a priority to the people. The MPs have a serious disconnect with the people. And I strongly believe Mount Kenya is gone kabisa, and is gone with Rigathi. Ruto have an uphill task, and not even Ruto, any other presidential candidate. Another candidate have an uphill task to convince Mount Kenya to vote for any person apart from people from that region. Thank you.